Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Japan Shoe Channel. Today we're looking at geta. Yes, the wonderful shoes that are worn when you have your yukata on at the summer festival, or worn by maybe samurai in the ancient days. Got your really cool kanji on there. And I've used these quite a bit. You can see that the bottoms are rather worn, but they have these two sort of slates on the bottom, and they make a nice clicking noise when you're walking. Much cooler than that noise, of course, but yeah. So those are geta. It's kind of interesting. Japanese culture in Bomberman, most of the Bomberman games, if there's a geta icon, that's sort of a debuff, it makes you run slower. But way back in the day, I always thought, hey, it's a power-up, so yeah, I should get it. But actually, that's a picture of a geta, this kind of Japanese shoe, and it slows you down, and the roller skates power-up speeds you up. So it's kind of a debuff. So those are cool shoes. And then also we have our lovely tatami shoes. That's right. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you can actually relax and wear these and feel the wonderful feeling of tatami on your feet. Because tatami mats are the greatest invention mankind has ever made. Tatami is awesome. So there's your tatami slippers. Yes, tatami. You know what? This is not very exciting at all. This is the game channel, so hey, we're gonna do another game today. And today's playthrough, it'll probably be pretty short, and I'm not gonna do a full playthrough, but this is an incredibly rare game, Addie no Okurimono, and you can see down there it says to Moze from Addie, and this is a puzzle game, and it's really unfortunate that this didn't become really popular, because this is a very, very interesting puzzle game, and the way the developers did it is quite nice. They put this sort of dream world story in with the puzzle, and rather than just doing the puzzles, so the puzzle has to do with this device that she's holding called the Loglock, and it's basically changing one word into another word. And the way they did it in the game was, once you change the one word into another word, then you could actually change the object. Like, for example, changing a bar, B-A-R, into a car. And, since she was in this dream world, the bar would actually change into a car. And, it kind of worked like, those adventure games where you got to walk around and basically you got to change items from one thing into another, and once you do that, you can progress in the system. But the device was really interesting, and it uses English, and there are bonuses, and there are like traps and bombs in it on certain puzzles. I haven't been able to solve all of them, but for this playthrough, I'll go ahead and show all the puzzles that I've solved. Here is the sort of key that shows you as you rotate the letters. So as you can see, they're like a D. If a D is rotated twice, it becomes a P. And if it's rotated and flipped, it's a B. An M. There's an M there. It can be flipped upside down to be an E, or it can be rotated to be an E, etc., etc. The H is a Y. The L has quite a few. It's either an R or a J. But it's kind of interesting. You have to rotate and manipulate the Loglock to change one word into another word. And so it's really interesting. It was a really cool puzzle game. I found it to be fun. So if you're a puzzle fan, then I hope you'll enjoy this series. I haven't seen really very much of this on YouTube, so I wanted to put it up because it was a pretty cool, rare game, and I wanted people to experience. So let's check it out. Here we go with Addie no Okurimono. Hey everybody, welcome to Addie no Okurimono, to Moze from Addie. Now, remember this is a pretty old PlayStation 1 game, so a lot of the scenes, are kind of blocky and, choppy, but for a puzzle game, they really did a lot of work in this game. If you've ever played games like King's Quest or Deponia, those kind of, search and click games where you got to find something and you got to use that something, to find something else. They turned this puzzle game into an adventure like that. Let's go ahead and check our setup. By the way, that title music is really a nice tune. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of play, through this a bit just to show everybody what it's like and, how it's done. And then there's very little information about this game on the internet, but it's a really interesting concept in the way of puzzle games. It's actually pretty hard and, it's very unique in its puzzle design. And I applaud the developers for, including an entire story, instead of just the puzzles. So that's Emmy. Addie, today's your birthday, right? Here, I'll give this to you. Hey, this is the Loglock, isn't it? Isn't it important to you? I don't need it. Well, thank you. It's very cool that each character in this game speaks with a different instrument. So as you can tell, Addie's is the music box whenever Addie speaks, and Emmy is the violin. But every character in this game has a different instrument for when they're talking. And I thought that was really cool. And they use certain sounds of the instruments to kind of show their emotions. Like the happy tunes. If Addie's happy, you can tell. And you can tell if Emmy's angry by the way the violin works. The little walking thing beside the screen helps, tell you if there's something nearby to view. or if there's, something important to look at. Tells you if you're walking and, if there's something nearby. So Emmy's wondering if her brother has come by. She said that he hasn't come by yet. Is that so? So whenever you hear that bling, it means there's something nearby to investigate. Just like, King's Quest or some of those games. It's like, you want to play with the Loglock, right? You just want me to go home, is that it? Okay, we'll talk to Emmy. You're acting strange today, Emmy. That may be so. I think I'll go home. She has to prepare dinner. So why does Emmy have to prepare dinner, or help prepare dinner? I guess her mother and father, having a divorce, broken up. So Addie's a little sad about that. So Emmy is apparently staying with her mother, and then the father is leaving with the son, who is Moze. That's why it's to Moze from Addie. Addie going to do something for Moze to maybe help this family in crisis, who knows. So we have a little bit of a story before the story happens, because the main story of this game is in the dream. And this book is pretty cool. This lists some sample puzzles, teaches you how to use the puzzle device. But like with all the illustrations, they make it look like it's a real object. It's all complex mechanism. But of course, it's all, fictitious. But it's pretty cool, all the, complex diagrams and things they have in this book. Showing you how rotating a B makes it a D. See, look at that left page. It's, looks like a really complicated device. Not something to give a 9-year-old. And yeah, Addie is 9 years old in this game. So she's kind of naive and innocent, but I really like the little pink dress on the right. And her expressions are quite interesting. So keep an eye on that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty cute, all of her expressions. So in the beginning of the game, she's going to try it out, and this is just kind of a tutorial. They're going to make us do a few puzzles. So yeah, sorry for the lack of excitement and explosions and everything. But you won't really see any of that in this game. But if you do like puzzle games, you'll like this one. Especially if puzzle games are too easy for you. Because this one can be really hard, to be honest. So we have the word car here, C-A-R. And we've got 4 moves to change it into cat. So I'm going to take the A out, go down to the T, and then put the A back in. And we got cat. And the reason I took the A out of the center is because when you rotate, the entire thing rotates. But I didn't want the C, the letter C to actually rotate. So I took the center ring out so that the C wouldn't move. Same here we have jaw, And I don't want the J to be changed. The whole thing changes when you rotate. See? All 3 letters change when you rotate. And since I don't want the J to be affected, I need to remove the A. And now I can rotate the M upside down, the W, and make it an M, and then put the A back in. And that takes 3 turns. 1 turn to take out the A, 1 turn to rotate the W into an M, and then 1 turn to put the A back in. So let's change deer into beer. Just what you've always wanted. Shka into beer. Now see this, we're only missing the 1 letter. And if we rotated it, then the E's would be backwards. That's why we want to take that E out. And now we've got beer. So we rotated the D, into a B. And of course, if we didn't take that E out, the R would have been rotated the wrong direction. So here's something a little more challenging. It takes 10 moves. I don't know if anybody knows, but in the game, when you do this puzzle for the first time, it says there's a way to do this with 9 moves instead of 10. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know, because I cannot solve this puzzle in less than 10. I can do it in 10, but not in 9. So that was my 10. It took me 10 moves. I have no idea how to do it in 9 moves. But apparently there's a way to do it in 9. Which I'll show you why. So that's all the practice. And there's quite a few others here in the book that you can try if you want. I'll show you this option here, and then you've got easy, medium, and hard difficulty. So these are the easy ones. Change AB into BA. That's super simple. Change ABC into cab, A to B. In 1 move, yeah, that's easy. So these are all just, rotate that whole thing. They're just kind of showing you how the rotation works and how different letters become other letters. An upside down B is a P. Well, I'll show you one. So we got to do this in 1 move. Change jot into lot. And all we got to do, since T and O, when they're rotated, don't change. Just the L changed from a J to an L. And then, of course, the O and the T don't change because they're being, flipped. So they're trying to demonstrate that to you. And we'll do maybe a couple others here. So we got a B that's close by. So let's take the A out. So we can do this one down and then this one up to get the B and then put the A back in. And we got bat in 5 moves, which is the record. So car changed into bat. But there's a bunch of practice ones in the book here that you can do before the game really starts. Some good practice. So this one should be obvious. And we'll just rotate that one 90 degrees. I made a mistake. Just want to do 90 degrees and then put the A back in. So that took 4 moves. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. Give you kind of an idea of how it works, but you'll see a little bit more of how it works as we get into the game here. And they have these, kind of cutscenes that are real blocky, but I applaud the developers for sure for making this whole story dialogue and everything. So he brought a present for her on her birthday. Why at this time? Tomorrow I guess he's going to be leaving. I guess Moze is going with his mother. Sorry, I made a mistake. So he's kind of played by a guitar, maybe? For Moze's, voice. Is this a music box? Yep. But it's interesting how you can kind of hear the emotions, with the musical instruments. You're a child still, aren't you, Addie? She can ride a bicycle and blah blah blah. She's a little upset for being called a child. It says about that music box. It was something my father gave to my mother as a present, but don't need it anymore, so I'm just giving it to you. Looks like mother forgot all about it. See ya, Johnny. So I guess we'll see Emmy tomorrow at school, but not Moze anymore. Moze. So that night, Addie had a very strange dream. And this, of course, is where the game really starts. And I'm not sure if, this dream has anything to do with what was happening in the real world. It's, possible. But all the characters you've just seen are all here in Addie's dream, except they all have different names and different personalities, which is kind of interesting. So Addie wakes up sitting on this chair in this forest, and we have Addie no Okurimono. Okurimono is like gift or present or, something that you've given to somebody else. So it can be translated as Addie's gift or, something that Addie gave to somebody else. Moze's name is not really in that title. Yeah, I love on the right there her reactions and, when she's thinking. So where am I? Fortunately, you can run. I mean, this game would be a nightmare if you had to walk around everywhere. So behind the chair, it says it's really dark and I can't see anything. So we need some light, like a torch or, something so we can see behind the chair. And that's where the, game kind of, search around, find clues, find items comes into play. We're going to walk around and we're going to find items. Oh, there's Emmy. But in this game, we find an item and we change it into an item that's more useful with the Loglock. Emmy, wait. As you saw in the very entry, her name is actually Eliza here in the dream. Can you not hear me? I said wait. So we're chasing who we think is Emmy. At least from Addie's, real world, it's Emmy. But in this world, her name is Eliza. And she sort of disappeared somewhere. But yeah, all the scenes are all hand painted and they look really nice. Can't see her anywhere. What's up there? Guess who? It looks like Moze, but it's not him. Somebody's there. So our first goal here is to get up there and rescue this boy, who looks just like Moze. So, like I said, it's really cool that they put an entire adventure game into this. It could have just been a basic puzzle game with words, and that's it, but, instead they put this entire story into it at the same time to give you a break from the puzzles. And, they're not timed, so it's really nice. I sometimes hate timed puzzles. So she's calling out to Moze, wondering what he's doing in the cage. Hey, Moze. Could it be that you're talking to me? I guess he said it's been a while since a girl's voice has called out to me, but my name is Joker. Joker de. So yeah, that should raise some suspicion. Joker. And so yeah, his personality is a little different. And he is kind of a joker, a mischief maker, or a troublemaker in this game. At least in the dream. So he's busy right now. He can't help Addie find her friend. Addie was asking him, if you've seen my friend Emmy, or a girl, walking by here. What, you have something else to tell me? That thing you have, could it be this? This is the Loglock, of course. That's right, the world goes around the Loglock. Somebody like you would not understand. You're just a child. If that's all right, I'm busy now. Go away. So I have one of those too. I can't believe it. Give it to me for a second. She just steals it from him. So here's the first of the kind of real challenges and what makes the game so interesting. So we're going to turn this cage into a bell. And remember, we already did this puzzle, but the record this time is 9. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do it in 9 moves, so I'm going to do it in the usual 10 that I showed you earlier. And you can see the score over there, +9, +8, +7. You do get a little bit of leeway. So I still had a +5 there. And you try to build up your score so you can make mistakes. Or you can take more turns if you wish. So, in the dream world, the object actually changes. So the cage is now transformed into a bell so that he could get out. That's what he was trying to do the whole time. But Addie is kind of surprised that it actually physically changed. And he just falls right out the bottom. See, that's how you get out of a cage. You change it into something else. So what this whole game is about is changing one object into another, and then using the changed objects, to progress the story and advance. Yeah, he's kind of a creepy stalker guy, but... You're amazing! I can't believe you did that so easily. I'll never forget you for the rest of my life. Thank you so much. What's your name? Addie. I see. Thank you, Addie. It's all thanks to you that I'm out of here. Addie's reaction there. So yeah, their personalities are a little different. But yeah, this episode's about 30 minutes, guys, and I will be showing more of this game. I'm not going to do a 100% full playthrough unless there is some interest in you guys seeing a full playthrough of this game. It is pretty long, but I'm going to show you all the puzzles that I've solved, because I have a hard time, finding information on YouTube and on the internet about this game. Like, the game solutions are really hard to find. So I'm going to show you the solutions that I've found, and we'll delve a little bit more into the story. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.